All right, welcome back to another episode of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. I'm your host, Matt Powers. Thank you again for joining me. Please visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. Also, me follow over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs. Well, today I'm doing another fun video for you all. I know you guys like these sorts of videos, but we're going to be testing some paint pens and some Sharpies on the 1993 SP foil. Of course, this is a card that is very popular to get signed for Derek Jeter. And when you're spending a good chunk of change on a Derek Jeter card, you want to make sure that you choose the right pen. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today for you. I'm going to be testing out a bunch of different pens on this style of card. Again, this is obviously not the Jeter one. I'm not spending a couple $100 to test some pens on there. So this is what I always recommend. Just buy a cheaper card from the set where you can actually test pens on the card for like $1 or $2. So always a good option to do this. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Again, this is an untreated card, so I did not do any baby powder on this one. I wanted to see if, and you'll see on the next option here, if baby powder had any effect on that. So let's go ahead and jump into this unprepped card here. Again, we got blue Sharpie. Very solid choice. It's probably what most people go with on this card. Black Sharpie's not bad. Again, it's just not the best color for a Yankees kind of card because it's not going to be a color match like a blue will. Silver Sharpie. I'm not a big fan of silver Sharpie on cards. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. There always seems to be like there's better options. We got Silver Deco, which is a paint pen. Not bad. Silver Deco usually is junk on the cards, but it actually did fairly well on this one. So if you do want to go with a silver, I'd probably choose that over a Sharpie. And then we got some kind of some ones that are maybe you haven't seen before, or kind of options that are not really chosen for this type of card. And it's the one I went with on the next one I'm getting done here, and that's the white Molotow paint pen, which you can see here. Looks very, very sharp, very cool card, or very cool color. I'm sorry. I really, really like this one on this particular card. And then we got Shock Blue. Again, Shock Blue is not terrible. It just, I don't know, just doesn't really go onto the card as well as the white does. So again, here's an untreated card, no baby powder done on it. And next option you got here is the same exact options, but being prepped. And on this particular card, I don't think you need to do any baby powder. Go back and watch the other video that I did on prepping your cards. Usually it's for cards with a glossy surface, which this is sort of a glossy surface, but it's not a modern glossy surface like a prism, for example. So I don't think you need to prep these at all. Again, blue Sharpie looks very good. White paint, these are the two best options that I would go with if you are choosing to get this card signed. And again, you just, I don't know, you just don't really need to prep much. There's not much difference between this card and the previous one. All right, so let's go to our two best options here. If you want to see both of those colors on this particular card, there's white paint and your blue Sharpie. Now, if you want to get a 10 for your auto grade, your best option is probably going to be to go with a blue Sharpie. White paint pens, they can be tough sometimes, depending on the surface and how long they've been sitting out, and if they had to fly to the area, if they're in humidity. Sharpies are very, very consistent, and I think PSA is going to have a better chance at giving a 10 to that auto grade and versus the white paint. Now, the white paint looks good. Now, would that be a 10? I don't know. They've been getting tougher, PSA has, on 10 auto grades, and getting a 10 auto grade on a Jeter is sort of a big deal. So you can see a couple little spots right there where the pen stopped. That probably would not be a 10, whereas blue Sharpie, it just kind of flows really good. So if your goal is to get a 10, you might want to go with the blue Sharpie. But the white paint is something different. Not a lot of people don't get that. In fact, I haven't seen it on an SP foil before, so that's what I'm going with for my next one. The previous one that I got signed, I did blue Sharpie, and that one got a 10 on there. But I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those colors. If you wanted to see what the color looked like just on the card by itself, again, there's white paint. If it didn't have this logo over here, that would be really cool for this card here. It just kind of gets in the way a little bit. But again, white paint looks very good. That color pops. I mean, look at that. It's a nice color match, obviously, for the Dodgers, but it's going to be a nice color match for the Yankees for the Jeter foil. And then there's your blue Sharpie. So again, not as maybe cool as maybe the white paint pen, but again, it's a very consistent color. It's going to be a nice color match too. And if you want to get that 10 auto grade, that's a pretty good bet right there on the blue Sharpie. So hopefully this helps you guys out as far as getting which color to choose. I know there's a lot of different options here. You can kind of see the prepped and non-prepped ones here. Again, there's a lot of good options here, but if you're unsure about everything, go with the blue Sharpie. But if you want to get a little riskier like me, go with the white paint pen. Again, don't forget to visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. You can see all the information about the upcoming Jeter signing there. Also, give me a follow over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs, and I will see you on the next episode.